In a job interview, it used to be that you asked a bit about your experience and then asked about your strengths and weaknesses. And of course, the stock answer for what's your biggest weakness is, oh, sometimes I work too hard. And every HR person will look through that you read it in the book or read it or heard it on this video. What companies will now do, they will conduct a competency-based interview. They will ask for things that you can prove. They will ask for things like, tell me about a situation at your last job where you had to deal with a very difficult customer, for instance. Then you tell them what you did, and then they ask you, why did you do that? Why did you choose that approach? What was the outcome? What else could you have done? They will go into that amount of detail. They want to know how you deal with pressure. So they will sometimes ask you, what's the best experience you ever had at the last job? But they will also ask, tell us about a time when things went wrong. How did you react? How did you treat other people in that situation? How did you deal with the stress? Because they want to know that just in case they decide to employ you and a situation like that comes up in future. They will ask lots of things where you have to prove that you can deal with difficulties, but also that you can deal with success. They might ask questions like, tell us about a great success that you and your team had together. If you say, I had this fantastic idea and we made $1 million. And then they ask, how specifically did it happen? And then you have to be honest and say, well, my team actually did most of the work. They will think of you as a braggart. Make sure that you show that you are good at what you do, that you're good at enabling other people, that you're great at dealing with conflict. They will ask these questions. Think about your career so far. Think about some of the high points and some of the low points. You don't have to go out there and say, I just made this big mistake and that happened. But when they ask, what is a big challenge that happened, make sure you can use, for instance, that example and put it forward in a way that actually makes sure that the interviewer sees you can deal with difficulties. Look back at your career, look at some of the high points and low points, write them down, and make sure that you can use them in the interview before you go to the next video.